Chapter 29. Ellie. Jenna calls me the following morning, and I tell her what happened at dinner.
Maybe he wasn't feeling well?
I scoff. Maybe he needs to learn to control his temper. It does sound like he was out of line. He was. But I have to live with the guy over Christmas. Do you think I should apologize? Jenna takes her time. I'm not sure. You didn't really do anything wrong. I mean, it's not like you lied. But you did rub it in his face a little. Well, he started it. Jenna laughs and it catches me off guard. What? You sound like you're 5 years old. I don't, I sigh. I do, don't I? Just see what it's like the next time you see him. If he acts like nothing's happened, then you do the same. You could try to stay out of his way for the rest of the trip. Yeah, I can do that. How's Monaco? Fine. It's good. I ran into Mia again.
In Monaco?
No, as I was leaving for the airport. She was across the street and I waved at her. I'm sure she saw me, but she turned away and kept walking. Are you surprised? I thought we were friends. I spent some time with her when I was with Julian, and she was friendly. Maybe she was only friendly for Julian's sake.
Maybe.
Jenna sighs heavily. Don't think about it, I say. You know, not everyone will be your friend, and it's okay if Mia isn't. I suppose you're right. It was just the way she turned away from me. Like I was the one to break Julian's heart. Jenna, you're in Monaco. I'm sure there's a bunch of stuff you could do there. Why don't you get together with Camilla and go shopping or something? I don't really need anything. Sure you do. I grin. You need a black dress that I can borrow from you. One that shows some skin. Jenna laughs. Fine, I'll go shopping. Good. I'll have to trust that Camilla will take care of you. She mentioned going to a spa tomorrow. That sounds like a great idea. Go relax and pamper yourself. We end the call and I head downstairs. Charlie and George are taking me to breakfast. The Darcys are meeting Ava's mother and left earlier, so I have no trouble avoiding them. As it turns out, I'm not quite as bad at skiing as I am at orienteering. Maybe, because there aren't many places I can take a wrong turn. That, and Charlie will only let me go on the easiest trail. I still fall more times than most, but the snow isn't too hard and I'm bundled up in thick gear. After a pleasant lunch in the sun, we head back to the house. George says he's had enough skiing for one day and Charlie agrees. Since I promised Jenna I wouldn't ski alone, I join them. We get out of our skiing outfits in a small room off the garage, where we can shake off the snow and hang everything up to dry. When I come into the foyer, Patrick is standing in the door to the living room. Ellie, he says, and I freeze. I was hoping to talk to you a bit. He gestures to the living room, and I nod and join him. He has a drink in his hand and runs the other through his hair. I take a cautious seat on the couch. I spoke to my wife this morning. She informed me that my behavior last night was inappropriate. As she pointed out, I have a tendency to stick to my old ways when new ones are winning more and more ground. This, as I'm sure you know, is not a great trait to have in the business world. I've seen plenty of my competitors make that mistake. He takes a sip of his drink and paces the floor. There are sounds from the foyer, but I'm too fascinated with what's happening here to care.
Anyway, what I wanted to say is that I acted in a shitty manner.
I can feel the exact moment D enters the room. At the sight of me and his father, he stops. As if he doesn't dare to move. So, I want to apologize to you, Patrick says, unaware of the onlooker. My behavior was inappropriate, and I'm sorry. I shouldn't have acted so childishly, and what you did was an impressive accomplishment. I want to apologize too, I say. I could have handled the situation better. No, you were right. You put me in my place. My wife says that doesn't happen enough. He laughs and I smile back. He takes another sip. I'm going to keep my eyes on you. I don't know what you're planning, but I have a feeling that your future career is going to be very promising. Even though you're a woman. Thank you. Patrick puts down the drink and turns to leave. Ah, Dylan, you made it. Good, good. He pats his son on the shoulder as he passes him. Dee's mouth is hanging open. What was that? My dad was apologizing. To you. Why? I shrug. It's a long story. He slowly comes into the room. I sit still. Why are you here? Are you visiting? I thought you were going to see your family for Christmas.
You know Charlotte Gardner?
George's girlfriend? He nods. She's my aunt. She's the family I'm visiting. He nods slowly. Does that mean you're staying here? I nod. A smile creeps over his face. You know what that means? I nod again and smile back. It means you're staying in the next room. I know, I say. Hey Dee, do you know if they have a car we can borrow? Knightley walks in behind Dee and stops when he sees me. Ellie. It's good to see you again. You're staying here too. Yes. Nice. He looks from me to Dee. I won't have to start refereeing or anything, will I? You two can behave, right? I'm sure we'll figure something out, Dee says with a smile. Great, now I want to go skiing. Ellie, do you ski? I'm only allowed to go on the easiest trails. Allowed? Knightley says. Who's stopping you? I get up. I have a tendency to fall. Just like Dee, he sighs. Well, maybe you two can keep each other company then. Fuck you, Dee says. I fell once because you got in my way. George said I can borrow his car whenever I want, I say. Let me just go ask for the keys and we can go. I hurry to find George and Charlie. My heart is beating fast. He's really here. And he mentioned the sleeping arrangements. He's thinking what I'm thinking. Even with my aunt and his parents nearby, I'm certain we won't be able to keep our hands off each other. This is going to be a very interesting Christmas.